Hey everyone, Shizuck here, and today I'm going to take you through a guide to laning. It's kind of oriented towards newer MOBA players, people who haven't necessarily played Dota or League or Smite or anything like that, and they're new to the genre and they're kind of unclear on what they're supposed to be doing in their lane. So this is going in with the assumption that you've played Deadlock before, you kind of know the map a little bit, you know what the goal is of the game to kill the enemy patron, and this is going to be showing you a little bit better about how to go about that larger goal. So one thing I wanted to talk about at the start, and I'm just going to lane at the same time so you can kind of get to see a really casual look at what it looks like to lane, but what your goal is in lane is to collect souls. And through souls, you're gaining power. Souls are, this is the currency in Deadlock, and it's directly proportional to your damage and your power in game. Souls let you do two things. They let you eventually get more levels to get new abilities and ability points, and then also it lets you buy items. And both of those things are going to let you do more damage compared to the other heroes in the game. So essentially, like if I have more points in my spells, I'm going to be able to kill the opposing laning, the enemy in lane quicker, or not necessarily quicker, but I'm going to be able to do more damage to them, which lets me get the kills more efficiently. You know. So, and your primary goal in lane isn't to necessarily get kills. I know it can seem like that because there's two of you in there, and you're kind of like diametrically opposing each other. But your goal, your overarching goal, is to make sure that you get all four last hits in a wave. You shoot the dying creep. So this is mine, obviously. So shooting it now isn't going to do anything. But you shoot the creep, and then you also shoot the soul that pops out. And what that does for you, your creeps, your enemy creeps, is that's going to give you two halves of that soul. You're going to get the one from the death animation, and then also the orb. And both of them are going to give you souls from that. So note, I have 500 souls. If we look at the shop, I can get one of the first tier of items. And I think it's really good to go spend that first 500 souls because it's going to let you become more powerful very quickly. Some of these items are really conceptually broken and not in the sense that like they're unfair, but like they're really impactful. So this one overall it's going to give me what 31% more weapon damage as long as I'm above 60% health. That's a shit ton. That's so much. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it easier to last hit waves because you can maybe shove it out more. You can make sure that they get moved along towards your enemy lane. And then also when it's time to shoot at your enemy laner, it's going to make you do what was that one? 31% more damage. That's a shit ton. That is so much more damage. So yeah, it's important to spend those souls. And as I get this next one, what I would do is I would finish the wave. I would make sure that everything dies. Oops, I am bad and missed this. I'd make sure to get all the souls from it. And then although this wave is pushing under and the enemy laner is here, it might be good to deny souls. It's kind of like a in the moment choice. You would deny them as they pop out because you'd have someone else hitting them. But then I would try to zip back and I would try to get that next item before the waves start dying again. Yeah, so I think it's really, really, really important to stay topped up, get that bank of souls converted into items as you go, because that's going to make you do more damage, have more bullets, make your spells do more damage, etc. Don't let souls sit around in your inventory unless you know you're saving for something in a different category. But I think these really early items are really good, and it's pretty bait to save for later items, especially in lane. And I'll show you what tier 1 items can do. We're going to take a look at a demo real quick of my Haze shooting another one. So in this demo, we have two Hazes, both with the same amount of ability points and the same abilities, except one of them, mine, the one that you're watching, has 3 orange items, which is 1,500 souls worth of items. And that's all in their inventory, but that's this one. And then on the other side, the bot doesn't have any items. And we're going to see in this simple trade where we just shoot each other in the chest, who comes out on top and by how much. So we're going to mag dump and see where it leads us. So far, it's looking good, but we're going to see I ended up with 315 HP after that trade. So what does that mean? That means that these 3 souls allowed me to kill the opponent with no soul, with no items, with no souls in their inventory, and I had 315 HP to spare. So despite maybe having better aim or having better positioning and stuff like that, if the enemy has more souls and you hit each other equally as much, they're gonna win if they have more items. Items are directly proportional to damage, to survivability, to spell damage, to utility. Even sometimes you can stop your opponents from doing things. So it's important. It's really, really important to spend those souls, put them into your inventory, because you're going to become more powerful than your opponent. No matter how good your aim is, if you have more money, you're gonna win fights. Okay, we know that getting souls is important, and we know that it's going to make us stronger than our enemy laner. What does that actually mean, and how do we put that into practice? So, what I believe is the right way to go about this is to maybe spam out the wave a little bit, get a little bit of an advantage. I think specifically killing this creep, the one with the flag on its back, is really impactful because it heals you every once in a while. I got 40 HP off of that creep that ran by me. But I think it's really good to shove the wave, and then once it gets to here, you're trying to deny the wave as it's dying to this tower. But in between these creeps, you can maybe shoot your enemy laner a little bit and take good trades, because they're stressed. They're really stressed under there. Like, when you're under your tower, there's not a whole lot of places to stay. The creeps will be here shooting at the tower, and you're going to be standing here trying to shoot the creeps, and then like you're getting shot at. The creeps you're trying to manage the wave that's here. Like, if you're hiding, you're not getting last hits, you're not getting souls, you're not getting stronger. So I think it's good to not be this person, not be the person that's sitting behind the tower, because yeah, like, look at this. Like, okay, I want to last hit this. It feels easy, but when there's someone shooting at you, it's a lot harder. So I think it's good to have your wave shoved out. So what I would do in this wave is I would find my flag creep, I would try to kill it. You don't need to throw a dagger at it, especially if you're going to miss it. But I would shove it, and then you can melee to secure a last hit, both parts at once. And then you have one going under, and I would camp it. I would make sure I last hit, or I would get the deny. That deny that you get on your enemy laner, that's also giving you the souls that they missed. So that 30-ish souls that pops up, that's going to you instead of them. So it's really, really good to do that. But I find my flag creep, kill it. I should have confirmed. And then basically just kind of rinse and repeat that. And then once they're under that tower, you can either deny or you can harass them and make sure that your trades are good. I have a lot of souls. I'm going to go spend them. And this is kind of like a cyclical thing that happens, is you get souls, you spend them, you go back to lane, etc. These are boxes and golden statues. After the 3-minute mark, it's really good to hit these because they dropped souls. And this one also gave me a permanent buff of 15 max HP. So I'll pick that up, and then I'll walk back under. I'll buy random things. I'm not thinking about it. It is impactful of what you buy during lane 2. In this case, I don't really have a source of regen. So if I'm getting hit, the only thing that's healing me is this guy right here. He's going to heal me up, but I mean, I don't have a way to heal up quickly. So something I do want to show is, imagine I had no HP. I'm dying. Oh God, I escaped. I'm behind my tower. What can you do? So you had two options. It's buy an item from here. I'm going to hit these, see if I have souls. Nice. You could buy a healing right or extra regen or something like that. So you could buy this healing right. You could use it on yourself if you're going to heal. You kind of need to wait for a while. Or you could hop on your zipline, press F to boost, get there really fast, go heal in base, maybe spend some gold while you're there, spend some souls, and then you're going to zip right back on. I'm going to go to a different lane because I just want to show off what other lanes look like. But yeah, it's zipping back and forth, and then you're back in the action pretty quickly. You didn't die, so you're not feeding any souls. You're not making the enemy stronger. You missed out on a little bit of a wave here and there, but it's not the end of the world. I haven't talked about it, but make sure to keep your abilities leveled up too. Unlocking each of these abilities is free. So if you see that, like, when this one pops up, this is free. This isn't spending an ability point. But these ability point markers, that is impactful, and you should spend them unless you know you're saving for something. So I think it's good to get that out, because that's also, it's like unspent gold or unspent souls. It's unspent damage or utility that you have on your abilities. Yeah. So okay, you killed your guardian. Nice. You're maybe killing your laner a little bit. How do you maximize power that you can get out of the map? How do you maximize the value that you can get after winning? So I think it's good. Spam your wave, make sure it's out, right? And then what you can do is you can back, and then on the map, there's these little triangles, right? And each of these are representing a creep camp. And depending on how many stacked triangles there are, it's the harder it is. So 3 stacked ones is harder than a 1 stacked one. And here's a 1 stacked one. And what these guys are doing here is nothing. They're waiting, and they're free souls that you can hit at the cost of a little bit of HP, and you can gain power through this. So you hit them, hit them, hit them, and then you can melee them a little bit, and then boom, you're now richer. That's awesome. So you go to your shop, you spend your souls a little bit. Each lane has its own shop too. Make sure to spend them there. You don't need to zip all the way back to base to spend your souls. And I had enough for a whole item, but maybe it's time to start saving up for a 1200. Maybe there's something really impactful that I know I want. Like say I want a Quicksilver reload. I want to, regardless, it doesn't matter what the item is, but if you have a build in mind, it's sometimes good to save up, and it's not, you don't necessarily want to fill your entire inventory with 1200s or 500 souls items, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about right-hand peeks in this game. Because your view model is in the third person, there's 2 ways that you can peek behind this box, or I guess maybe here. So here's my haze. It's stuck, like we're hiding behind the box. We can peek out like this. I can shoot here, right? Or here. And note where I'm standing right now. Look at how much of my character's model is exposed to anyone over there, as opposed to this. And this was working. Look, like my guns are even in the barrel, and I can shoot. Like, it's probably a little broken, but yeah, I think that like I am very not exposed here, and very exposed here. So I think because of that view model, because of that camera model, it's really good to take right-hand peeks as well. And then also, right next to a veil as well, each lane has a veil, so this is where the middle lane's veils are. They're under the bridge. And then they're also under the bridge on the other lanes, but they're larger. And I think it's also really good to sit in these when laning before the Guardian. Like, this isn't something I'd be doing at this point after the Guardian dies. But you can last hit from here, say this is your enemy, you could like harass them out, and then maybe hide behind the wall while they try to spam you and stuff like that. Because this is a one-way mirror. So I can see this box, but as you can see, you just see the orb, but not actually what it is. Yeah, you can't see in, but you can see out. So this is really good to kind of sit in and take trades from, because, I mean, how do you deal damage to someone that you can't see? It's pretty difficult. Note, I've got my ultimate, I leveled it up, and then I'm holding another skill point because I know I want to put it into my dagger. I know I want to put 2 into my dagger. It's just kind of a build I have in my mind. I'm going to back, I'm going to spend my souls, and rinse and repeat. So let's say I get this. So now that we've seen a couple basics of laning, why don't we take a look at a real game and see what other players are doing well and what we can learn from them. So in this replay, we're going to be watching the perspective of Listic. He largely plays 7. He's very good at the hero, and he's a high MMR player, and we're going to be watching what he does in this lane to make it successful. So note, he is, first off, he's taking cover. He's kind of trying to see where his enemy laner is going. He's watching for it. He sees someone sliding down, maybe into this building right here. Trying to just keep note on where the enemy laner is going. I would expect he might go into the Veil here, and then also his lane partner is being aggressive off the start. So it's good. They both are pretty ranged characters. They can take good trades, stuff like that. So he's looking to take a little bit of damage, and this is a replay bug. I'm going to go back at 10 seconds. Yeah, so we're watching this trade happen. He sees both people go right, is kind of focused on that, keeping eyes on it. Both of the waves are dropping now. They're here. He's hugging his ranged heal creep, and he's now in the Veil. So he's taking trades from within the Veil. He's last hitting, and then now that the wave is dead, for the enemy wave is dead, he's now going into trade mode. He's trying to shoot the other laners and pressure them under the tower and push them down. So he's waiting to get that deny. He denies the creep. He backs up with his laner together. Doesn't have enough to spend at the shop yet, so he's not backing to the shop. Still healing, or hugging that heal creep, and last hitting waves, trying to deny, got some denies, secured some creeps, and then yet again, the enemies are put in that awkward scenario where they're getting shoved under tower, and there's these two, they want the gold, they want the souls from these 2 creeps, right, these 2 candle troopers. So these guys are forced to try to shoot these candle troopers at the same time as getting hit by these two. So these two will push the advantage that they just grabbed, or 500 souls, they might back right now. They might go get an item and get that small advantage over their opponents. So we're gonna play again and rewind 10 seconds because everyone turns into spaghetti right now. So this is back on 7. Taking good trades. The creeps are getting shoved under the tower. Maybe pop some abilities. Make sure, yeah, putting a lot of pressure on, making sure they can't get the souls from the dying candle trooper. He's gonna back 500 souls, going to spend that money like clockwork. Got some medic bullets. He's gonna heal off of hitting enemy opponents, do a little bit more damage. Good stuff. Right back in the action, making sure to get last hits. Nothing more to last hit anymore, so he's going and applying pressure again. And it's like clockwork. It's on repeat, the same kind of loop plays. And although he just got slept by the enemy, it doesn't matter because they were in the aggressing position. They had so much pressure on them, they couldn't really make anything of it. So hitting the enemy laner and also the creeps at the same time, getting all the candle troopers, and then going to harass again, yet again, like clockwork. Same kind of loop over and over. Got a kill, awesome. Someone was out of position, and they were able to take advantage of that, and because the wave was under pressure, they were able to do that. Last hits, constantly. Note, this is a scenario where there's 500 souls in Listic's pocket, but he's not going to back up for it because there's so much pressure that can be provided right now, right? The enemy laner just died, still in base, and then the lone pocket is sitting under tower, and they don't really have anything to do. There's a whole bunch of candle troopers coming under, and then Listic's ready with abilities to unload on the pocket, and then force the pocket back to either base or put a lot of damage in so that they can take a good trade later. So this is really good discretion to not go back and spend souls. Even though they'd be doing fractionally more damage, it's good to put the pressure on right now because they have an advantageous spot at the moment. And then I'm gonna go back 10 seconds because people are spaghetti. So we'll see that again. Last hitting, 4 candle troopers under tower, dead laner, gonna immediately put the pressure on the pocket. Pocket is not gonna be happy, and then do some tower damage when they can. Backing up, 900 souls, not spending it just yet. More pressure can be applied. That's an overextension from the enemy laner. Really good to take a trade right then. And then I would expect that we'd see Listic probably applying pressure under tower again because of the dead laner, because of that person dying, and then there you go. Because that person was under so much pressure, they had nothing to do other than really die. So note, I think he's about to do it. He has a spell that can help him clear this early easy camp that's on the right connected to the lane, right? So he's going to throw down that spell, he's going to collect the gold from it, and he's going to walk away. So this is not only is it denying the enemy of souls, it's a source of souls for them, but he's also putting it in his pocket and getting more. And even though there was no candle troopers for him to hit here, there's neutral creeps that can be farmed and collected. So this could have been a scenario to put pressure on, but I think he was like, I want money, and probably had a lot of souls that he recognized he needed to spend. So he's going to opt to do this instead. And I'm going to go back 10 seconds because people are spaghetti again. Right, so farm that up. Good stuff. 1,600 souls, probably going to spend, but there's so much pressure being applied. It's good to keep going here. Yep, there's a kill opportunity happening. Good trades, doing more damage than the opponent. 2 of them versus the 1, or no, it's still 2v2. Backing up, you're going to spend all those souls, get really powerful. And then we're going to note real quick, we're going to take a look at what Listic just bought. Infuser, so ammo, spirit lifesteal, going to be a source of regen for him on top of the medic bullets. This is both sustaining items for him, so he can regen up and stay in this lane longer. And then berserker as well, it's going to make him do more damage. Bullet resist is included in that, so yeah, it's overall a good scenario to be in. You're spending those souls, getting more spirit power, getting more weapon damage, etc. And then at the same time, also a very skilled player, Mikolas, also spending souls at the same time. Hollow Point Ward, Mystic Shot, doing a lot of damage because of this net worth lead. 3,000 souls versus 1,300. It's a tough situation for them on the blue side, but that's what you can do, is you can just spend your souls, get that weapon advantage, and then push that advantage at the same time. So I would assume, based on how well this lane is going, they're going to try to take their Guardian. So yeah, they're going to try to take the Guardian out. I think they've decided that they can, even though they're under the protection of the Guardian, they probably could kill them anyway, so they're going to shove that advantage and then back off. So in this scenario, it's 4 minutes, which is atypical to have the laning phase kind of feel like it's over. But at this point, this 7 feels so strong that they can go to other lanes and apply pressure there because they've took the Guardian, and now they're going to rotate around and make something happen. As they're moving around the map, they're breaking boxes, getting souls. Yeah. So that's it, really. I feel like that's how they these two won lane. They took efficient trades, they spent their souls, and they fought together at the same time and got their wave shoved onto the other person's tower, and then they were able to apply pressure under there. And through that, they were able to win their lane and now continue to shove their walker advantage. So if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I'd want to make more videos like this. I want to try to get more information out and educate people who are struggling with the game, because I think it's a really fun game. I'm really enjoying it, and I want other people to also enjoy it. So hopefully this helps with your laning phase, and you understand a little bit more of the goals that you can accomplish while in lane, and hopefully your games go a little bit better. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next one.